Hey guys, welcome to Planet Coaster 2. Today we are going to be creating the Darkmoon Faire from World of Warcraft. And I'm not going to beat around the bush because it's been almost a year. So without further ado, let's get into the game. Finally. Alright, let's get into the park. I'm going to start by removing all of these trees. Maybe not all of them, but most of the ones that are central. And then we're going to go straight into our terrain modification. The Darkmoon Faire in World of Warcraft is on an island. So I will be creating, I think, quite a small island. Because I really want to practice layouts. And I think this might be one of the best ways to do that. So I'm not going to copy the shape too much from the game. In fact, I'm not going to copy the layout either. I kind of want that to be my own. So it's not going to be a one-to-one of the Darkmoon Faire. It's more of a, I suppose, a theme park inspired by the Darkmoon Faire. I'm definitely going to be adding more rides than there are in the World of Warcraft version. There's only two. Which is a merry-go-round or a carousel, and a very, very bad roller coaster, which I'll definitely be changing. So yeah, I don't think we'll make the lake reach the edges, but this seems like a decent size. In the game, I think the entrance to the park is on the same island as the park. I'd like to do something where the guests come in a bit higher up maybe and then make their way down to a bridge of some sort just over the lake. I think that could look quite nice. So we'll just make a small kind of waterway here and we'll bring this over. We'll have a bridge around here and then let's remove this all here and just bring our ground up a bit. We'll just flatten that up there. And then we'll figure that out with the pathing later. And we'll just try and add a bit more interest to the shape of this. We just push this down over here. Maybe some kind of peninsulas here, just small ones. In fact, I think down this side we'll maybe have the ground a bit higher, and this is something else that I want to work on a bit more, is kind of more varying levels of terrain to kind of add a bit more visual interest. So in the World of Warcraft version of Darkmoon Faire, there is a roller coaster, which I've mentioned, and it would be quite cool if you kind of come over this bridge here. There's the entrance, and kind of just behind it, or one of the kind of sight lines here, would have the roller coaster peak right there, right behind it. The entrance has this eyeball on it, and the roller coaster does as well. So I think that could be quite cool if they lined up really, really nicely at the entrance sightline. I'm going to bring this over a little bit more so that the mountain is perhaps a bit more over here. So that's a rough idea of the kind of shape here. And I am actually wondering if perhaps we have the guests arrive from lower down so that the roller coaster and the entrance and everything look a little bit more grand. I think in the game, this might be why I originally thought to go higher up, but in the game you do come down from the entrance. In here it will work best if we do it this way. So well, perhaps we could go higher up and then have it be a bit more of a reveal once they get down here. So we'll bring this down a little bit more. And then just bring that round. and perhaps have the guests come in from up here and have kind of a tree line here so they can't see until they come down here. I think that could work quite well. So I would like to keep some of the things a bit more accurate to the original. Okay, let's put some water down and we'll try and get that as high as we can. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. As for the shape of the island, I think that is good enough. We can always change some of the edges a bit with the rock work, but we'll go in and do some of that now. I'll just make a bunch of kind of rock groups and use those to fill in the edge here. So yeah, some of you might have known from reading my community posts or any of my comments or replies to some comments, I've been absent due to being pregnant and having a baby girl. She is amazing, very, very healthy. I say very healthy. She's got a few medical problems that's requiring quite a few hospital visits, but it's nothing crazy. And because of that, obviously I've been unable to make videos or work on Planet Coaster as much as I would like. So in any downtime that I've been able to find, I have been making blueprints. So this park has been pre-planned. The layout hasn't been pre-planned. I have not thought about that at all. I know that I want to put extra rides in, but I don't know what rides. I just knew I was doing Darkmoon Faire, and so I've made quite a few blueprints to work with. Normally I would spend a lot of hours recording all of the footage, and sometimes that includes me building these larger blueprints. But I would like to know what you guys think, actually. Do you prefer to watch me make the blueprints in the game as I'm kind of, you know, going around and exploring, figuring out what I'm doing? Or do you quite like when I just pull in a blueprint that I've already made and plop it down so that I can continue with the video? It feels a little bit more streamlined that way, and I feel like I can get a lot more done per video. But I know that quite a lot of you enjoy watching the full creative process, so yeah, I'm not really sure where I'm landing on that at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you think. But this video is going to have quite a few blueprints pre-made. I will still be making little bits here and there, and we'll just see how it goes. So I've made these rock pieces, and now we will kind of fill the edges out, and I'll add, you know, bits of greenery as and when it's needed. I think it might be nice to have a small beach somewhere, maybe along here. In fact, we'll maybe do that now. If we just get rid of the water and then just sort of smooth this section out a bit. We'll do that as a beach there, and then we can paint down a bit of sand. Maybe have this bit be a bit sandy too. There is a beach on the Darkmoon Faire in-game as well, so I'm not quite sure what to do about this edge here. Maybe it looks a little bit strange. We could still put some rocks down there, I think, to keep it from looking too weird. But for now, let's just focus on the rest of the edges here. And what I'm gonna do is just duplicate random pieces from this and kind of these nicer, smaller versions here until we've got kind of a nice rock edge going on all the way around. I'm wondering if this works for the rocks. I'm not too happy with how this all looks, but I'm just going to trust the process and hope that once we've got some kind of trees and rides going on in here, this looks a little bit better. This section here will be where I'll put the coaster. So I'd really like for this part of the mountain to look quite nice. I'm just going to leave those there for now. but we will figure that out when we get to it. For now, maybe let's start with some paths. And I would like to try and make kind of more custom paths in this episode. So something to practice, I suppose, is using the invisible path, and we'll make that a bit wider for up here. Perhaps for now we'll do the sandy path so I can see where we're going, and we'll just bring that down. Let's just set that to ground. Then we can bring the terrain with us, and we'll just bring that down here all the way to this edge here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do more of a snake bend here, which is how it is in the original Darkmoon Faire. And I think that would be a bit better to kind of hide this, or hide the park, really, as you kind of come around. So I'll just flatten this down again and redo that. I think something like this, perhaps. We bring this all the way up. It's a bit of a long road for the guests, but I kind of want to try and keep some bits as close to the game as possible. And it is quite a long path. And then I think we'll start building this out with some trees. I do have a blueprint of some trees. I should have that under... yeah, there we go. We'll just pop those here. And these were made custom, kind of completely custom trees, really. Using some of this piece here. And then I just stuck a bunch of bushes to it. Because in Darkmoon Faire, the trees kind of look quite dead. But they do have this orange, a few orange leaves here and there, but quite sparsely. I couldn't find anything to replicate that with. So for now, I think this is kind of the best I could come up with, really. And from here, we really want to kind of shield these areas here for the line of sight. And I'm going to try and mix and match these up a little bit to keep it from looking too similar. I think I'll bring this up on this side, and we'll do a stone wall, and we'll put this tree here just to shield the view from this angle. And slowly, as you come down, you'll start seeing more and more of the park. Kind of build excitement a little bit. Just going to pop a few more bushes on here. Yeah, it's all very quick, just using the align to surface tool. And let's just check from up here. I think we'll want either some rocks or a tree here, so we could just take this whole piece actually. Maybe just turn it around. Maybe that way. Just bring that in, and then we'll rotate that and just pop it up here a little bit more. This side I think we'll just put rocks. I'm just going to push it back a little so that it's not kind of choking the path too much. We'll put a few trees this side as well. Just grab a bunch of this. And we've got some of those rocks from earlier, so that's quite nice. We can just pop those down. There we go. And then we'll try and select these guys and just push them down to the ground a bit. And then we can just quickly pop this back along here somewhere. Just going to take the size of this one down and rotate it a little. Just push that in, change the axis to relative, and just plop that there. I think that's looking quite good. And we'll take some greenery, just fill in these gaps here. And I think we will need some more trees here just to, again, block off the edge of the park here. I think we'll grab this big one again. It's got some rockery with it, and just pop that down. Okay, let's look at this from the guest perspective. I don't mind that too much. I would kind of like it to feel like all of the trees in this area are kind of dead, so I'm not sure how I feel about seeing these. I don't think we can select them, can we? No. So I might just pull the terrain up a whole bunch here. And then just make it more of a mountainside, hopefully. I think that actually works quite nicely. And then I'll just pop one more bunch of trees here. I think for the entrance here, we will come back later to create some kind of portal. Or I think actually instead, maybe we can make a small little zeppelin. For those of you that don't know or haven't played WoW, there are kind of these huge goblin-made zeppelins in the game that you can use to, yeah, get around basically. So I think it'd be quite cool to make like a miniature zeppelin, which, if I recall correctly, is also a mount that you can get. We're actually doing the Darkmoon Faire stuff, so that'd be quite a nice little entrance if we can manage it. I think we'll save that for the end. And just pop one more tree here. Really kind of enclose this area. I'm not too worried about how the park looks from kind of the god perspective, but I would like it to look pretty nice from the guest perspective. So I think for now this should do. Maybe a bit more greenery around here. Just a whole bunch of creepy roots coming out of the ground. I think that looks pretty cool. And add in a few red roses here too. And I did forget that I wanted this to be a natural path, or an invisible path at least. Let's see how this looks without the purple here. And we'll go to our terrain. And I think we'll just make this regular soil. Take the size down and intensity up. Maybe mix a bit of gravel, mud and soil together. If we have soil up here and then have it be a bit more muddy down here for the water flow, because I imagine it would be muddier here. And we can pop in a bit of gravel where maybe they've tried to counteract the mud. And maybe some rough rock here, actually. No, I think we'll leave this as gravel here too. And I have also made path, which I would like to use around various parts of the park. I think it could look quite cool, quite interesting. Kind of as if they've been sort of run into the ground a little bit. Not looked after very well. So we'll put a few of these around and just rotate that. Rotate both pieces. And then just in this corner here, we'll sink one down just enough to make it kind of look like it's just been patched together. And we'll just rotate that. I don't mind that it's kind of messy, because Darkmoon Faire isn't exactly kind of professionally put together. It's a bit more rough around the edges, and I think stuff like this kind of really gives it that vibe. So I'll just finish off the rest of this path here. Yeah, the Darkmoon Faire in WoW has this sort of feel that you might die on the rides. So I kind of want to keep that vibe going for this park and make it feel a bit more like a roller coaster tycoon park, where you can have the guests go on the ride without finishing them. Not too keen on that piece. Let's just pop that back a bit. If we just bring that over here and actually make it a bit bigger, as big as we can. Just move that up and round, and just a little bit more of a tilt there. I think we can make this work. And then, I mean, we could always just pop one of these here. Kind of a little Zeppelin landing, potentially. Let's just have a look and make sure that this works well. So I think it's looking pretty good. We can still see a lot of the green trees over there, but I don't want to build this up too much. I think this is as kind of as good as it gets with a quick one-off park. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. Just pop some bits here. Maybe just another tree. And maybe just a rock there too. In the game there are some arrows. I think I'd like to recreate. They're kind of just pointing you down the path, really. So I think I'd rather make them from scratch, because I know there are some arrows. Let's see what we have. Yeah, I think I'd like to give them more of a kind of wooden vibe. So we'll make them from scratch. I wasn't recording, but I've added the arrows to the entrance. And I've plopped down the entrance arch, as well as adding some planks to the bridge here. And then I think for this bridge, we'll just pop in some nice big chunks of wood here. And we'll just duplicate those across. Maybe pull that up a little bit. And I think as we're going round, I'll just kind of rotate one or two things every now and then, just to kind of give it that kind of shambly vibe. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but that kind of, yeah, whacked together. We have that one kind of tilting in towards the path there. And then we'll just grab all of these. Actually, we won't. We will finish this fence first. We use a fence like this. I think that could work quite well, actually. Or something like this. I think that kind of looks a little bit strange with the logs here. I think we'll use this one. So just grab one of those and pull that up and twist it. Maybe without the angle snap, we'll just get that lined up nicely. I think we'll put some lights on these as well. We'll just pop that on the edge of the fence here. And we'll change the colours to, yeah, maybe a yellow. Just maybe make that a bit bigger. And then duplicate that across. And I'll just pull these in to meet that around the middle. And then we'll just duplicate that over and rotate some of these back. I think we'll pop some lights along here as well. We'll use the resort lights here and just pop these along. I think maybe we'll try and do one per kind of segment here. So let's get some very, very large light bulbs. I wonder if they might be too large actually. Let's pop a guest down. I think they're doable. That'll work. And we'll just pop these all along here. And we'll change the lighting on these. So let's just pop them all onto loop first of all. And then I think the colors are red, green and yellow. So we'll do some red and green, some yellow and red, and some green and red. And then we'll grab all of these and just move those over. Hopefully they line up well enough that we don't have to fiddle around too much. And I'll just change the colour on these as well. Okay, I'm liking the look of that so far. Let's see how that looks at night time. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. We'll move on to kind of fencing this area off a little bit now, just finishing up kind of these bits here. So we do have some fencing somewhere. Yes, there we go. We'll just pop these around and kind of give the island a bit of a border here. Let's attach those just there. And we'll bring this all the way up to the rock here. And maybe end it with another one of these big guys. Just something like this. And then we can always bring these two down. Or I think actually we'll just turn this inwards a little. I think we'll just end with the pole here actually. Get rid of that. And just pop a bit of greenery down here. We'll go to our red roses now. And I think as well we will make the ground rough rock here. The ground in Darkmoon Faire is quite dark. So I'll try to avoid having grass. Yeah, just have that all be a bit of rock there. I'll just clean this up quickly. I think as a standalone, that looks quite nice there. We'll see how it works with the rest of the silhouette once we kind of get to that. And let's finish off. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to improve my pathing skills and park layout skills in this episode, because that's something I think I can improve on quite a bit. And I have been watching quite a lot of realistic park builders, and that's kind of been giving me the itch to try that, but I think that would burn me out quite quickly. Even doing parks like this does burn me out sometimes, so yeah, I think focusing on every detail in the way that you kind of have to get realism wouldn't be for me, but I might try it at some point if that's something you guys are curious about. I'm really pleased with this entrance so far. I think we'll pop down a couple of these carriages here. Maybe just like right as you come in. And then maybe do one of them the other way around. Just a little. as if it's been parked up. And what else do we have here that we could use near the entrance? I mean, it might be a good idea to try and see where we can fit this. I think we'll pop this a bit further back to kind of keep this looking tall, because if we put it here, then our roller coaster is going to look quite tiny. And I'm starting to wonder if we can actually fit a coaster in here. I'm sure we can. Where's our big one? Nope, there's our big one. So we'll pop this over here. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but that is actually roughly where it would have been in the game as well. It's kind of further over to the back. Yeah, I think that can work where it is there. We could maybe have a smaller one. I'm not sure. Perhaps somewhere around here. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I think it's probably worth trying to figure out a layout for the park here. We definitely want the coaster station to be up here somewhere, so we'll definitely need some pathing there. We'll do purple rustic path for now, but I think we'll be changing the path quite a bit. I quite like this verge here, actually. Maybe we could have like a nice plaza here and then kind of a circular stairwell. I'm not sure if that's something that's doable, but it might be worth trying. If we try... Oh, that's actually perfect. If we try and pop this here and then try to, I guess, build a path here that sort of semicircles along, then maybe we can connect the paths up with some stairs. I'm not sure. Let's see. I feel like this can work, but I might have to be a bit more mathematical about it, which is not something I like to be. Like to just plop things down and hope for the best, really. And somehow we've ended up a bit closer over here. But this could work. Maybe we can fill this in. I do have some stairs, actually. Although I've just realised that I need to have the same steepness for all stairs for this. This might not work. Oh, actually that fits in quite well. But what I'm thinking is if we can cover this so that it looks like there's stairs everywhere. I'm not sure I want to make this blueprint any larger, so I think we'll do maybe two side by side, and then have some railings down the center on these kind of rope sections. Could even make this smaller, and we'll just see how that looks. Yeah, we'll just pop that just about there. So that's how one lot looks. I think we'll just grab all of this and bring that over and see if we can work it that way. I'm regretting using the rope piece, but I think if we find something else to kind of put down the middle here, we can cover that up and it won't look too crazy. So just bring that out slightly. And I wonder if we could bring this out too without the guests floating or walking too low down, because obviously the guests are going to be walking on this. But I don't think I mind too much. I think I'm going more for the kind of player view experience, and this doesn't feel too bad from a first person perspective. Let's see if we can just duplicate that over. I'm not sure if we'll be able to work that so well. Might just need a few more bits down the bottom here. Maybe we can just raise these up slightly. Could figure something out. I'm sure there's probably a better way to have done these stairs, but the actual path part of the stairs, but I'm not too great with pathing. I think we can definitely figure this out. And actually, before we put another one here, I think we should figure out what we're going to do about this center area here. Yeah, we can use that up the middle here. And let's just plop that down and then rotate that until it lines up quite nicely. Something just around there, and then we'll just bring that up and over. I don't mind a bit of rope showing at the edges, but I think we will need this to be bigger. Let's just push that down just around there. And maybe make it yellow, which is kind of the third colour Darkmoon Faire seems to have in its palette, going by the entrance. And we'll just duplicate that up. And then just grab these two together. Maybe just rotate them something like that. I think we'll pop these at the edges too, but I would like them to be thinner, I think. So we'll rotate those around. And then I think something like that could work quite nicely. And then we can fill this section with whatever we like, really. Perhaps just some flowers. That's kind of my crutch, I think, for a lot of things. Just bring that round. And then we can just pull this up and have it look a little bit wonky, maybe. No, I think I will fix that up, but for now I think let's just focus on getting one that we can use as a duplicate, as our original. And then for a fence, I think maybe this one. It kind of ties in with the rope theme, and we could paint our wooden pieces there. That could work quite well. Let's see how that all looks together. Just duplicate that up. And let's just see how that looks next to a guest. That's quite large. I think we could shrink these down and see if we could get a third one in there. And I'm wondering whether to just flip this around. Yeah, if we just place that there, and then we'll pop one on either side. And I think we'll leave these all green. I think doing the green and purple again might be a bit too much on the eyes. It's already quite vibrant, so I think I'm quite happy with that. Perhaps I'll put a couple of lampposts in between here. I think we'll use the resort lights again. And let's just pop on that angle snap there, relative, and get that round. Somewhere around there. Then if we have that going between each of these, so we'll get slightly smaller. I think around there should be good. And go with our yellow and red again. Then let's get a wooden pole. And we'll just move that around so that that lines up nicely. Let's just take that down to here. Pop that into the ground there. And then get a second one. We just bring this in slightly. And then I think we'll use some of the rope pieces. I'm just going to change the colour of this to a brown. I think we need to relax the eyes a little bit here. Let's get a nice, just a plain brown there. I also think I'm going to rotate these to be upright, actually. Just think that looks a little bit better. And then we can just grab these and duplicate them back. And I think we'll actually just have these on the sides and not down the center. And we'll line them up so they're roughly at the midpoint of the fences. We'll just rotate that slightly. Yep, just about there should be good. I'll get another one just here. And then just change these colors around. So we'll swap that to a green and that one to a yellow there. And this one we'll change the green to a yellow. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Let's see how that looks at nighttime. I think we'll have to add a few more hidden lights just to kind of illuminate and make it seem like these are illuminating just a little bit more. But I do think I'll do the showcase video at around 5 PM, which is sort of similar kind of lighting to the real version. So let's just get that on each of our stairs here. I think I am actually going to redo the pathing here because I'd really like these to line up a bit better and not have to make it all look a bit silly by moving stairs around just to kind of fit that in. So what I'm going to try and do is pop the path around so that it's just touching the edge of these, and then hopefully that should work. Actually, I think I'll try popping down the stamp tool at the very edge of these and see if we can work that. And let's connect those together and then see how these connect. And fingers crossed, they should connect well enough that I don't have to play around with them too much. I think it's looking good so far. A lot better than it did. I think we'll just move them all up a small amount. And then just in little areas like this, we'll just move them up ever so slightly, just to cover those. I'm just going to add one more plank to the bottom of each one of these, just to cover up these last little bits here. And then we'll bring these bits down and fit them together a bit more nicely. Maybe put something over this. And I'm just going to move some of these lights as well, the ones that are kind of on these triangle wedges, and make it so that they join on one single pole at the corner here. Yeah, and then I think that looks a lot better than this one, so we'll just fix up these two. And then for these bottom pieces, I think we'll replace them with one of these, maybe not too green. Oh, I didn't realize you could paint the ends of these. That's quite cool. Maybe could be useful here. So let's just move that round 45 degrees and shrink that down. And we'll just pop that in here and on these corners. I think it kind of serves the double purpose of cleaning this up and cleaning this up. It does have these bits poking out the back, but I don't actually think I mind that too much. Yeah, I think I'm quite okay with that really. I'm going to move it down until these ones are on the top, and then we'll just do a couple more of those. And I think we'll pop these on the ends up here as well. I'll just rotate a couple of these just to give some variation. So I'm thinking about what we want here. I think we'll leave this quite empty and maybe just pop a couple benches around and some sort of central piece here. We might as well pop down some of the benches. Just have them all the way around the edge here. I think I'm actually going to get rid of these torches. I know this is a fantasy park, but I can't imagine that being very safe. So we'll put something else in there that's a bit safer. Maybe we just won't light the benches. And we'll just leave it at that. And I think we'll change the colour on here though. Get a bit of variation. Just pop a few more of those around. And I also made this bin as well. Again, using those resort lights. So we just pull that down. Maybe pop a couple at the end of these stairs here. Then perhaps we can bring our path. I actually think it'd be best if we bring it along here. And then we've got quite a bit of space here for, well, anything really. I think we'll pop the merry-go-round somewhere around here. I might have mentioned already, but the Darkmoon Faire only actually has 2 working rides. We are going to put in a few more that I hope will be somewhat symbolic of some of the mini games you can play there. And I'd also like to try and recreate a couple of the game stalls as well. They have whack-a-mole and kind of a game where you toss a ring on a turtle. So I think we'll actually have those kind of either side here. Just bring our path out a little bit because we've got quite a lot of space to work with here. So we could have the turtle game here, or something representative of the turtle game, and maybe kind of a kiddie section here. There's a sand pit, which we could make quickly now actually, with our favorite wood piece and I think just the ground tool potentially. Pop this in here quickly so we can have a rough idea of where our bits and pieces are going to go. And let's see as well where we could probably pop our merry-go-round. I think this is quite a good spot here. We'll just delete these. So if we pop that there, then either our queue or our exit, I think probably our queue, could have a nice little pond view here if we do this up a little bit. We'll just get the colours correct on this first. There is going to be a lot of purple, green and yellow throughout this video. It's all kind of purple and pink, like this roof here, kind of matching the tents. The animals and the seats and etc. are all kind of various kind of browns and such. I think we will try and make them custom, which will be fun, I hope. So we'll figure this out later. And for now, let's move this maybe at the end here. And I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. I'll just quickly pop some sand in here so I remember what I want here. In fact, what I'm going to do here is kind of build this area in, as well as bring up this ground here so that that kind of lines up a little bit better. And then we'll just bring a bit of ground around here to kind of close this section off. And I think what we'll do is use some of these pieces to kind of build a barrier here. And if we bring up this piece, then we can just duplicate all of these. And I think these will be quite useful for breaking up certain parts of the park. because I would really like to have this look as similar as possible. Not similar in terms of an exact remake, but so that anyone who's ever been to Darkmoon Faire in World of Warcraft knows that this is what this is supposed to be. I think we'll move this up. I'm trying to think of the sight line here. It'd be quite cool if this is visible from our guest perspective. So bring that up quite a bit actually. And let's go see how high up that is. It's quite high, but I think that kind of works. If we just bring the ground up and then bring that around. Then this section will have an even higher view of the pond as well, which I think would be quite nice. And I think we can have the queue probably not right at the entrance, but somewhere around here. So we'll change this path. Let's go for something a bit more like this. And then we can add in our kiddie play area just here. I think I'll keep this brown and maybe a little bit larger. Make it a huge sand pit. And then bring our terrain up. Just take that size down. Maybe make it a bit rough so it really looks like sand. And then just paint some sand down. Then we can do a little trail of sand just around the outside here. Okay, I think I'd really like to start building the coaster. Yeah, just here could work actually. And then you have the view of the, hopefully, well-decorated station. Just as you come in. We'll pop that just around there. And then get going. So I'd like to stick as close to the ride as possible without actually making the ride, because as I'm sure I've probably mentioned, the ride is terrible. I think we will just go with the standard wooden. I know that might be a little bit dull for those of you that have watched my channel before, just because I have already done a wooden coaster, but to be fair, I didn't build that in the game, in the video, so maybe it'll be fine. And then we can have this section be the station area. So I'm actually just gonna, we'll leave that there. And then we move this over. We can tuck it quite tight against the mountain here. Then hopefully we don't need to go down quite as low, because I would like a small little pre-lift. I do like to ride pre-lifts, so I like to make them too, even if there's not really much to them. Just a little, you know, excitement boost before the main event. And considering we've got one little lift and then a larger lift, it kind of, I don't know, it feels like a coaster that gradually builds. So we'll do a little bump here. Let's get this testing. I'll bring that round. Something like this. And then we'll start going up here. Maybe we'll make this one straight first so we can go straight into the chain lift here. And we'll take that up. Maybe at 30. And I think we'll just alter the terrain around this as best we can. You can kind of maybe bring it up here and then have it sort of loop down here and then go into the main lift. Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. And then bring it into our regular track. And maybe go straight down into this kind of banked drop. We don't want to go too fast just yet, because we will be hitting the next chain lift pretty soon. And we don't want to have to spend too much of the coaster kind of losing that momentum. We do have the brakes. Maybe have a little bit of a whack back for some kind of outer banking here that could overlook maybe a restaurant or something down here. And I think we'll do custom supports for quite a lot of this, which means I probably will put a fair amount of rock work underneath here because I don't particularly want to do custom supports for the whole coaster. We're coming down here a bit slow. I'm just gonna tweak this a bit, and let's get rid of our track supports here. And then we'll just pull this down for a little bit of extra speed. It's a little bit slower than I would have liked. I think we'll probably bring this down a bit to kind of really have it just down here to kind of bypass whatever we put here. I want this coaster to feel genuinely dangerous, like it has no safety added to it whatsoever, because that is kind of the vibe of, I think, real fairgrounds in general, but definitely the Darkmoon Faire. It's very, very slow around here, so we'll definitely bring this down. So let's just grab all of that and take that down. Maybe have, yeah, this kind of hop here. I quite like that. We just bring that up around here. And then smooth this all ever so slightly. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. There we go. So if we want the lift hill to be just around here, we're going to need to come back around on ourselves again. We could do some cave segment, or we could, I don't know, having it come around here and quite close to this again could look quite cool. Like a double track here, especially from whatever we're going to put here, which I'm thinking more and more might be some kind of restaurant seating area. So yeah, let's try and do something like that. Could kind of do a sort of snaking thing here. I think we'll actually go quite wide here. So perhaps if we just bring this round again as an outer bank here, and then perhaps twist it back in as we come down here, and then have quite a sharp turn here. And we'll fix this terrain up afterwards. We've kind of built up a bit more speed here though, which we don't want too much. So we could either come up again and then loop back round and up, or put some brakes in somewhere. I think we'll come up again. And start lining this up just about there. And then I think if we start our hill climb, we do still want to have the peak up here and have it kind of coming down here. So I might be a little bit far over here actually. Might be worth bringing this out and over and then up. So let's try that. So we want to be starting our hill just about here. So we'll bring that over, maybe under and over. This is going to be a bit of a weird coaster. Get a bit of a head chopper moment there. And then we can start the lift hill just about here. Although that is a very big lift hill. Now maybe we'll try and bring this under here. Bring our mountain down a bit and have the lift hill be a fair bit steeper. Okay, hopefully starting it here should work a bit better. And we'll do a very steep. Maybe not that steep. Okay, that's a bit more like it. And we'll start bringing that down to a nice peak here. And then we'll bring it down just into a regular drop. No banking. And I think we'll just bring this whole mountain in a little bit. After this main drop in World of Warcraft, it comes straight back into the station. Of course, we're not going to do that. We will instead bring it up around here and have a bit more fun with it. I feel like we have had our fill of the helixes. Yeah, a lot of looping around on itself, which is kind of what the coaster does in the game. I think we'll just build. Trust the process. Maybe have some cool moments where it's sort of haphazardly attached to this rock here. And that was coming down pretty fast there. So we might have to make some wider turns. Could bring it down here. Maybe go up. Then we bring it down here. Maybe get a bit of air time. And then we can bank outwards for the nice ocean view there. If we bring this into another outer bank for a nice view of the ocean. Let's see how fast we're coming down here. Oh, quite fast. I wonder if we could actually end the coaster here. I think we'll do a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe we'll actually come down here along these rocks and then come back up and then just maybe bunny hop our way back or something. So it's like, oh, you get a view of the ocean and then it brings you round into it. Maybe we could move this rock over and then have this sort of snake around the rock and then go down and straighten out a little. And again, just kind of, once we're theming it, keep this really haphazard, dangerous feel to it. I think that could look really cool here. Just like your belly being held up by a few stray pieces of wood. And then maybe you're just about to whack your head on this rock here. And as much as I think there should definitely be some breaks at various points along this ride, I feel like it fits with the theme a little bit more if there aren't. So I'm kind of hoping it comes through with a bit of speed here still. Let's just pop it in for now. I'm curious how this is all going to work out. I'll just do a bit of smoothing. And let's just preemptively move this rock over. Okay, I'm going to give it a little ride. Just see how it looks. But I'm not going to show you guys just yet. Don't know if I'd ride it, but I like it. It is a bit rickety around here. Needs a bit more smoothing. As much as I think that suits the fairground more, it being a little bit more kind of rugged, I don't think it makes for a pleasant sort of viewing experience because the camera was sort of shaking. So we'll smooth it up a bit. I actually think it might be cool to have these almost right next to each other. Maybe we could build the supports in there so that it's looking a little bit more connected. And now I would like to start making it look a bit more like the Darkmoon ride. So first of all, let's get this all green. I'll just go and check the color, actually. Actually more of a kind of, yeah, like a leaf green. And there is actually quite a bit of brown. So I'm definitely not going to be doing custom supports everywhere. But for now, I think we'll just leave it like this. So the carts are kind of lime green on the exterior. And then the seats are a nice kind of like a pinkish purple, kind of a magenta. Let's go, yeah, something like this actually. So if we have our entrance here, then I suppose we could do a queue around here. And then just have our exit here. Could maybe have some kind of seating area here actually. We'll see how we end up building this up, but it would be quite nice that you can come out and, you know, sort of overlook the park, I suppose. And then maybe here is where we will have our sand pit and all of these bits here. Let's move these over. Quite like the idea of them sort of leaning over the edge. Let's grab these ones. Just move those around. Something like that. And then we can just put our sand pit here. And we'll add our other kind of little kitty bits here too. We'll just take this down slightly. There we go. And add our sand pit back in. Let's just paint that up. Nice bit of white noise there. And then I think we'll quickly add a path in here just to kind of remember that that's what we would like to do. Go back to our curving. Something like that, I think. And then as we come out here, we can add kind of some of our stores, seating area. And I do definitely think we are going to shrink the island down. Get rid of all of this section here, because we don't have that many rides. Maybe pop this on the corner here. Or just here. I would still definitely like to use this area. Yeah, maybe this somewhere around here. And then I think we'll get rid of the rest now, actually. Just so I kind of know what I'm working with. Yeah, I think we'll cut this back just to about here. And then we'll just bring all of this round to here. Get rid of this. And then let's just add our water back for now and see how that looks. Just going to smooth this whole area out. Because there is a beach in WoW's Darkmoon Faire, so I think we still need to keep the beach. Just smooth this a little bit more. I'm very sorry, there's a bit of lost footage here as well, but I'm just starting to work on some custom supports. And we'll just bring this down here. Then we've got a nice kind of taller one there. I think if we just grab this and duplicate this over, pop that there, and we'll do the same with this one here. Then we can just use these at various points all around. I think as well, actually, we'll change these to a red, more of a reddish brown. Would closer match how it is in Warcraft. I'll just change the rest of these quickly. We'll also add some bars here. Just take those down and bring those up. Pop them across. And I'm not too fussed about them looking perfect. I'm trying to keep that, you know, hastily put together kind of vibe. And then hopefully this can work in multiple places. I think we'll just take that again and pop the angle snap on and bring that around. Yeah, I mean, we can pop it there. And if I have the patience, maybe we'll do that on all of them. Just pop those in a bit. I like having this little piece of the coastal wood poking through. I think that looks, yeah, a lot better. So we've got that poking through there. We'll just pop that up a bit. And then I think we'll watch the cart go over to make sure that it doesn't touch that. No. Let's add these to this piece too. And then we'll get copies of these and just pop those around the rest of the track. Let's add some of these around and see how it kind of looks, maybe with some rotation. I think I'd actually like to add some bolts before we start plopping this everywhere. So let's see if we can find something. Oh yeah, we've got our new scenery pieces. These could be fun to try out at some point. This might actually work quite well for our eye, especially with the size that we can go for it. Let's just have a look at that at night time. A little sidetracked here. Yeah, that could work really well. I think I'm happy enough with the one that we made for the front, but I can't enlarge this, so this might be perfect for just up here, because we do need one for the tip of the coaster, so just pop that there for now. Although it still might not be big enough, but we'll see. Let's get back to finding some metal for the bolts here. Maybe just a metal circle here. Yeah, let's try that. Just tuck that in a little. And I think we'll get 2 versions of this then, with the bolt in different locations. In WoW, they're just kind of thrown all over the place. So we will do the same. Now let's make that into a scenery group. I'll duplicate that over. And for this one, I think we'll remove the green side piece. And then for this one, we'll just pop some extra bolts in here. I think we'll do one up here. And then another one just sort of shoved in there. We have the possibility to do something quite fun here with some supports. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm sure I can figure something out. Let's just duplicate these pieces down. Oh no. Oh no. I think we might have to do those individually. And I think we'll grab another one of these as well. We'll bring this down too. And don't mind that being wonky there. We'll just pop down another one as well, just here. And maybe get that one a bit straighter. Something like that. And then I'm thinking one more here and one more here, and then some sort of haphazard links together, and we could have a kind of head chopper moment here with all of the wonky bits just sort of thrown around everywhere. So let's just duplicate that over. And then we'll just pop that round about here. Maybe pull that over slightly. And then we'll pull these bits down. I think I'm quite okay with these being out like that. There's a little bit more, I don't know, fear to this being really improperly made. I'll just push that back in there. Maybe just make that a little larger. And tuck that in just there. Let's just pull that down somewhere just around there. And then, I'm not sure whether I want to use this beam. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe this one. That works quite well. If we can get it looking apart. Let's actually get a coaster to come through here, or a cart. And pause it just there. Let's get this down kind of as close to this as we can, without it being a bit too close. And I think we should check the camera too, just to make sure it's not a bit too threatening. I think that might be a bit too low. Let's move over to this seat. Yeah, that feels a bit too low. Maybe just here. And we'll go over to this seat. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Let's pop another one this side. And I wonder if we could add a blood splatter. I wonder if the moss could work. Pop that around. Bring it up here a little. And somewhere between the two there, I think. Kind of cartoonish rather than realistic. I think that works well enough. And we'll pop another one along like so. And then we'll pop a few bolts in just there. And then we can sort of weave it through here. And have it be sort of support for this piece of track as well. There we go, perfect. And then just add a few more bolts. And I think that works pretty well. We'll just carry on with our regular supports now, I think. And see where else we can maybe add some of this. I think up here we might bring the mountain up to the edge of this, so have this be kind of a mountain riding sort of section. I'll just carry on following the track. And don't ask me how they attach the wood to the rock here. I don't have the brain power to figure that out right now. I guess we could just cover it up with some greenery and pretend there's some soft earth under here. And then for here, we will just grab one of these, I think. Oh, you can align to the track. That is either new or I never knew that before. That's quite handy to know. So we'll bring that down here. I think we'll just do a whole load of these along here with another green beam coming out here. Just have that go up maybe 30 degrees. And then bring that down. Tuck it in a bit. And we'll shrink that down to something like that. And then let's find our kind of limeish green, something like that. Yeah, let's grab some bolts. Pop that in here. And then we'll make this into a scenery group. Just pop this along the track here. And we'll just get a variation on this. Let's go for 3. And then we'll just maybe alternate those, maybe get a third one going. I really hope I don't change my mind about any aspects of this coaster. That's one thing you've got to be really certain of if you're going to do custom supports. Let's pop this one up here. And we'll just rotate that until it lines up. I am actually finding this quite satisfying. I think I was too quick to complain about custom supports, but it's quite enjoyable. And what do we do about this? I think we'll duplicate that over. And then I think we will grab this and do something like that. Whether it would actually be stable enough, I'm not sure. Probably not. We'll just bring a couple more down. And here I think we can go back to our remade pieces. I think around here. Shall we do a speedy time lapse for the coaster supports maybe? I think we'll give it a go. And let me know what you think. Cue the music. of all the coasters to do my first custom supports of, I think this is the perfect coaster to do. Because I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like something that would, you know, it looks like the coaster in WoW, so... Is it functional? Probably not. Not realistically. But does it match the vibe? Definitely. So that was it was quite fun, I'll admit. Okay, last but not least would be the peak. And this is probably the most important part, really. I am considering bringing the mountain down to really match the coaster a little bit more, the original coaster, because it's actually, there's no mountain at all underneath it in the game. It's just beams. So I'd like to maybe bring this down a bit and showcase the beams here a little bit. So we'll push this down. And I realize I've just unaligned all of that, but that's okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Especially this back one. Okay, yeah, from down here that looks a lot better. And we'll just grab one of these. In fact, I think we might go for thicker beams here. If there are any. I mean, I think it's the same beam, but we will just... yeah, let's just make it larger. And we will make that our brown there. And it's kind of got a... yeah, kind of just... they both just tilt inwards. And then the eye is... I mean, it's pretty much right here. Let's see how that would look from down here. Yeah, perfect. So we'll bring those up to meet the eye. Something like that. But I think we will need the eye a bit higher up for our track. Just press play and see. In the meantime, we'll just duplicate these, shrink them down, and just pop those across. I think we'll bring down one more. And while we wait for this, we'll let's see. Oh, we've got plenty of room there. Now we just need our... it's kind of like a circle with, I think it's metallic actually, the kind of star pieces that come out of it. But the circle around it is wooden. I do think we have a wooden piece. Maybe this could work, actually. This might be perfect. Pop on our angle snap, rotate that round, and then just resize that until it's where we need it to be. So we'll do that one first. That's almost perfect. Shrink that slightly. And then we'll change the... oh no, I don't think we can change the colour of this. That's such a shame. Yeah, it's green. I wonder if this can go big enough. Yeah, that might be perfect. And we can change the colour of this. So let's go for our lime green. There we go. And then we can line that up nicely before we shrink it down to size that big. We'll just get rid of our wagon wheel there. I'm also going to create a second one, shrink that down, but pop that out here. And I'm going to make that darker. And then I think we'll do that again. We'll push that back slightly just to add a bit of dimension. And we'll also make that darker too. And then we'll just bring that all forward together. And then I'd just like to have a quick look from our guest perspective. I mean, if we're coming down centrally, it's not quite as centered as I would have liked it to be, but I still think it works absolutely fine. I wonder if we can make that any bigger. Could actually make this all bigger together. Yeah, if we get that somewhere around there and push that back slightly, then we get this. Make this a fair bit larger. Let's try the sphere, or the half sphere. Bring that up to size. Up on our angle snap and bring that out. It would be great if this could light up. I don't think it can. I do wonder if we pop a light behind it, we could always put it underneath. What happens if we put it inside? No. So that would have to be some secret lighting. And I'm not sure if I'd be happy with that. Let's look at those glowing pieces from the new pack. It's parades, isn't it? So let's look at everything. Oh, I'm glad I had a look. That's perfect. Not wooden like in the game, but I think that would be great. So let's just replace that. And get rid of our half sphere. Pop that back in there. And change that to a bit more of an orange. Much more of an orange. Can go quite nice and orange with that. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's pop ourselves down here again. Just go and turn around. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Now to make this move. There we go. Let's turn that off and move that around so that it's directly back there. And we will add a pupil. These might actually be perfect for pupil. Let's duplicate that out and try and add this and see how that looks. And we really want it looking down at the guests. Get that black, and yeah, I think that's perfect. We'll get that just there like so, and grab that around for the bottom half of the pupil. Okay, let's have a look at our guest perspective. And I think we'll probably showcase the park at 6 PM, so let's check it out. I don't know if that's a bit much, having two eyes, actually, now that I've seen it. But that is what it is in WoW, although they're not kind of directly together like this, but I think we'll just roll with it. I'm actually going to move the mountain down even further and make it a bit more accurate to the game by having the eye actually be underneath the coaster. And we'll also duplicate these and pop them just behind here. And we'll have them leaning in slightly. And then I think even further, actually. Right down. And the coaster in the game, there's actually no supports up this entire piece. I don't think I want to go with that. I think we'll keep this with some supports. I think we'll take the back down too. I didn't really want to redo these pieces here, but I think for the kind of silhouette here that we should. And just before we do that, we'll pop this in here. I'm not sure if we can make it any larger. I think just about there. No, we can't. I'm just going to delete a whole bunch of these. I might edit the right slightly. I think we'll add some more speed here as well, just to kind of keep this last bit here a bit faster. We'll just have to delete some here. And redo all of these supports for these sections. I'm thinking about actually removing the mountain entirely. Or maybe not entirely, because quite a fair bit of the... Let's just link those up there and then we'll smooth that out a bit. Yeah, quite a lot of the coaster relies on that, and I don't want to redo all of the supports. Let's have this come down a little bit more dramatically. In some places, I suppose we can just bring them down as well. Hopefully that will work fine. Let's run it. Okay, we managed to up the fear level as well. I think we will go with that. It's a bit more true to the game, and I don't know, it kind of keeps its iconic, very stretched out lift, hill and drop. Okay, so let's make these kind of thin things that come off of the eye. We'll just shrink that down as well. I think I'm going to shrink all of that down actually. We'll tuck that in a little, and then we'll try and make a little point here. Maybe we can use some smaller bits of wood here to make the peak, or the point, sorry. And maybe we can actually have this running along the edges here. And if we just change that to a slightly darker yellow and pull that forward just enough, then I'm sure we can create something that's a little more resemblant of the in-game kind of stars. I think we'll make the edges here slightly darker, perhaps around there. It just helps it pop a little bit more. In fact, I think I might just build these on some flat ground. Just make it a bit easier. I think actually this works a bit better. And then we can grab this piece again. I think it was this one. And we'll just pop that all along here. And we just make that into a group and bring that up here. Just twist that around and Okay, I'm actually not sure if this is going to work. I think we might use these pieces instead. They can shrink a lot more, and I can make a point much easier. And it also, I think, looks a bit more like the one in game as well. So let's just change the color of these. Let's go for that one. And we'll try that again. So there's one that's just kind of a thin sort of shape. So we'll go for something like that. Let's just move that into a better position there. I think if we get one more just to make this transition here a bit smoother. You know, I think we'll leave it like this. We won't do the edges. Let's get rid of these pieces and just move that over there. And then we'll do our sort of crescent that comes back on itself. Something like this. Bring that up. And then if we just slowly rotate these around, we can make a nice curve here. Might just bring those two pieces, or these pieces up, to line up a bit better with those. We'll just make those into some new groups. And then let's bring these up. Let's bring that up to about here. Yeah, and we'll shrink that down. And we'll pull that out slightly there. And maybe pop it just around here. Then we'll grab our other one and pop that one on the top here. Then we'll get another one of these back here. So I felt like these weren't really working, or at least weren't quite matching the World of Warcraft version. So I had a little look through some of the newer stuff and found these guys. And I think they are perfect actually for what we want. So I just pop this one up here and we'll rotate that around. Then we can bring that up to the top and we'll just change the colors there. If we make it something like that, then we can duplicate that round and change that to one of the other waves. It's not going to be an exact match to the World of Warcraft version, but I just think for Planet Coaster, this just looks better. Maybe attach another one on the bottom here. I'm not sure if this will work as intended. Maybe we can try this piece. Bring that over and pop that in front. And we'll just pop this one here and get two more over this side. And then we'll do one final point and we'll just duplicate those. So on the World of Warcraft version there are 6 points, but I think for this one we'll leave it at 5. I just think it looks better this way. And then we'll just grab all of those and get them facing the other way. And then a few of them actually have bulbs on them, so I'll take the opportunity to use even more of the new pieces. I think we'll just do individually placed ones. And then we'll do some down here. I think maybe we'll just do them on all of them. That's not how it is in WoW, but I just think it would look better. Yeah, we'll leave them as night only. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think that looks quite good. But I do think we will add some more lighting here. Let's go for a nice orange, I think. And I'm actually debating whether to stop this from glowing. I actually think that could look better with some really good lighting. Let's give it a try. I think something out here. Maybe we can add some to the coaster here. We can add one here. Just make it green to camouflage in a bit. That gives a nice little bit of lighting that side. And then we can do the same on the other side here. Yeah, I think I prefer that to the glowing. But I do think we need to add some more lights just to help kind of make this work. And we can just add maybe some green lights here along the bottom parts of the track. Maybe have it somewhere around there. And the same on this side. Just bring that round. Maybe just there. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah. I think we might even add a little bit more green over here. And even some green maybe behind to give it a bit of an extra pop. Let's see how that looks. Just pop that in there. And then we'll duplicate another one of those over. Bring that up here. Maybe just around there. Yeah, I think that's working quite nicely. Now for a few more scenery pieces. For this peak here, we have a kind of little tent rooftop that it goes through. So we'll just try and build that here. It's a similar kind of setup as the main one with the eye on it. So we just have those poking in slightly. And then we'll just grab a couple of these to go across. Maybe shrink these ones down a little. Got that one there. And then we'll just pop another on this side. And then we'll use this piece here. And we'll just bring that round. And pop one of those on here to be a roof. And then we can grab a couple of these wooden pieces. Bring that out. Rotate that around. Bring it to the corner here. And then we will pop that down. Just pop that on the edge here. And in fact, we want that to be quite a bit bigger. Bigger than that. I was hoping to use this piece. I think we'll have to use one of these. And then if we make that green, bring that over, round, and then over again. And I believe there is a piece that is kind of a curved piece of wood that would be perfect for the roof here. Just not sure what it is called or what pack it's from. So I'm going to have a good look for it. Well, there is this townhouse beam from the new pack that could work. We might just need to double that up Let's just have another quick look and make sure we're not missing anything. Nope, I think this might be our best bet. So let's take that around and then point it upwards. And I think somewhere like that. Then we'll get a second one next to it. Just to thicken the beam out. And we'll pull them around to make a roof here. And just grab those two and spin those around. Actually, I think we'll make the roof bit here first. Probably using the canopy piece. I would think this probably is going to be the best piece. I'm going to try and use this piece actually. I think it could work quite well, and we can gradually move it round with the curve here. And then we have a bit more control over the colours as well. So we'll take that up here and just rotate that round. Shrink that right down. Duplicate that up. Shrink it. And gradually increase the twists here. And we'll just keep going up until everything is covered. And then I think we'll twist these ones around. And then we can change the colours to some pinks and purple. These two here we'll have with the darker kind of purple. And then pink again for these top ones here. And we'll go and find our moons and stars, just to pop those on here. Then we'll grab all of that and just duplicate that around. I'm just going to attach them down here actually. I think that might be a little easier. Another beam over between the two here. And we'll do that from both sides. And let's make these into a scenery group and see how those end bits are looking. Yeah, it's a little strange, but I think that can work fine. So I'll remove that one and just pop this up here. Then I think we'll adjust these two to match this here. And we've got something like this. And I think we'll just move the moon on this one here. We'll move a couple of the stars as well. Get an extra one down here perhaps. We'll leave that one as it is, and on this one we will just delete the moon and do some extra stars here as well. Then we just need one more of these. Pop that in the top there. Let's get that round like so. Duplicate that over. And then add those two pieces together and bring those up. Thinking of maybe using just a nice circle here and getting our third colour in here. And we'll just pop that down. It's not one for one, but it hides the problem. I think we'll get another one of these as well. I'm going to just shrink it slightly and go for a darker brown here. And then we will pop a little flag on the top here. Just about there. And then we'll find a nice flag to pop in there. I think there's one in the fairy tale theme. Yeah, we do have this, but I think I'd also like to check the new pack, because I know there's quite a few flags in this. So let's see if there's one that maybe is animated. That could be quite nice. Oh, these could come in quite handy actually. I might pop those out. Not sure yet, but we could use them. Oh, I like these lamps. Sorry, I've not really had a look yet at all the pieces here. But these are some quite nice pieces. Doesn't look like we do have flags. I thought we did. Maybe it was just bunting. Yeah, I think we'll just use this one. It doesn't wave, but it will do. And we want this to be a nice purple with... Yeah, I think yellow works here. I think that is actually how it is in the game as well, so I think we'll increase the size just as much as we can before it starts clipping through. And then I think that's that done. Let's get rid of this and we'll bring all of this down. Just perch that on the top here. And I think we'll be reusing this as well, probably for the entrance. So we'll pop that there, and I think maybe even shrink that down a bit to somewhere around there. I think just here should be good. And then maybe we'll rotate this round and bring that up so that it's actually supporting the track here. And then we'll get the same on the other side. And just rotate that to have that supporting the track too. And maybe even some along the side here. So it's almost supporting this bit. We'll bring one of these down as well. Bring that right down and have that just underneath the coaster here. And let's just change those edges to a nice brown as well. Let's try and match that. And we'll just add some beams here too. We'll just do that manually. And then bring that up into the top here. Then if we just grab both of those pieces, twist them around, and we'll just tuck those in here wherever it looks best. Yep, probably just about there. And I'm just going to replace this with something else. Just don't think it looks too great. And now we can start filling out some of the rest of the track. One thing that's on the Darkmoon ride is a lot of balloons, so I'm going to make a bunch of balloons here. I think we'll just go for purples, and I mean our main colour theme, I suppose. If we pop that one there. And we'll have this one be green. Bring that right over. Maybe another green one. Let's duplicate those. Let's take that one down. And bring this one over. And then we'll make that one yellow. This one green. And that one purple. I think we can add a pink as well, actually. and just make those into some new groups. Duplicate this one again, and we'll add an extra balloon for this group. Let's try and bring that to the point in the middle there. And we'll just bring that round. And maybe go for a yellow there. I think I'm going to actually make these rope. If we maybe shrink that down as much as we can. Ah, there we go. And then I think I'm just going to start from scratch here, using this balloon. And we'll make that into a scenery group and just make some variations. And we also have that point similar to the ones at the entrance. So we'll just grab some of those. In fact, I think we had a copy. Yes. If we grab that and then delete these, then we can change this to a yellow. And I think we'll just duplicate that out on either side to get our nice big arrows there. And we'll get rid of these because we have the nice new lamps here. And let's do the lamps first. Just keep those yellow. And we'll do 4 to a side. And then we'll just duplicate that. And we can use that at multiple points throughout the ride. We'll also want another fence. So you might want to use this piece. Let's get that angle snapped up and round. And we'll bring that down. So I believe this fence is pink and purple. So let's see if we can work that somehow. Hopefully we can get that nice and striped. It's definitely not going to look perfect, but I think it could work, at least when viewing it from a distance. So let's bring that up. And then we can add something along the top here. Maybe we'll just keep it as wood, or... yeah, I think we'll do wood. Now let's just grab one of our favourite pieces. Pop that on there. And bring that round to act as a top for this. And then we'll just change those to the pink there. And we'll get another layer of that. And then we'll get both of those down at the bottom too. In fact, I think these are actually purple. So we'll go with the purple that's closer to this here. And then we'll get another one of these just to go here. Change that to a brown. And then tuck that down there. Okay, so with these pieces available, I think we can start decorating. I think we'll do some of the balloons first. they kind of just are added to the sides here. So we'll just pop these around at random points. Pop this one here. And I think mostly at the start, maybe. One more there. And I think maybe a few down here in some of these slightly slower parts. Let's change the colours of that, because we've got another that's the same right there. So we'll do pink for that, and purple for that one. And then let's pop this around some certain places. I think along here. Something like this, and then we'll bring that round to the entrance here. And then I think we can add some of these along here. So let's just pull those up, get our angle snap on. And pop those on here. And I think we can just push some of these back into here slightly. Same with this piece here. Let's maybe move this bit forward actually. I think I might grab all of this and bring it closer to the actual ride. And then we'll just tilt those two pieces enough. There we go. We'll add another barrier over here as well. I think this side will just pop these all along here. Then we can add some sort of, maybe a seating area just here. Maybe some along here too, just for safety purposes. But I think we'll shrink them down a little bit. Or sink them down, sorry, into the ground. And just keep this quite visible for the guests that'll be sitting here. Could they go over the fence and into the ride? Yeah, probably, but that's kind of the vibe. So some of them I believe are actually doubles, so we'll do a double here, and then we can add another one of our arrows on here. And then for this kind of interior rocky section here, I was kind of thinking just to add a bunch of wood here. Make it look like it's been sort of mined out and somewhat made safer by kind of putting these wooden structures up. So it's also quite a nice, quick and easy way of getting something that looks relatively interesting. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop a whole bunch of these around. I like the way that interlocks there actually, that looks quite cool. I think we might have to manually rotate some of them, I suppose. And then we can just put some rocks down at the bottom maybe. Just kind of blend that in a bit here. Oh, that'll do. And I think if we grab one of these again, we can put one of those on here. Let's get that angle snap on and twist that around. Probably would have been easier to actually have this just be the one, and then we can duplicate that and have that where we need it. Maybe a couple on here too. Stuck into the stonework here. I think maybe a few balloons on the way up here. Can't hurt. There's not a lot to look at on the way, so. And then we'll just decorate this area as well. I think perhaps we'll use these along here. And maybe we'll double that up as well, just to get some of our arrows in. I think we'll keep them this way. And then just bring that up until it hits this kind of rocky area here. Maybe something like that. I think we can lose this one actually. Just a few here will be fine. If we look at it from this angle, I think we'll bring this back. And I think we'll also double up here actually. And then just delete these pink ones. Let's grab our arrows, and I think we will split one of these off so we have a single if we need it. And then we just adjust that and pop it into place. And we'll duplicate this one along. And then just pop one more here. And on the World of Warcraft coaster as well, there are some parts along the side of the coaster that are just post with some ropes and some arrows. So we'll just make that quickly. And then we'll add 2 of these. Let's just duplicate that and get one of those. Shrink that right down. Just twist that around to its side here. Maybe we'll go for something a bit more like that. And then we can pull this back. And then we'll grab both of those pieces and make them yellow. This is how it is in WoW, but I'm not sure how that works in terms of physics. So I think what I'll do instead, not that everything in this park is 100% based in physics, but I suppose we could do something like that and then add some rope here, just a small piece. And then if we bring that round and down and then just pop that in there, it does leave us with this kind of weird attachment here, but I think I'm okay with that. And then we'll just duplicate those along. Put another piece of rope there. I think we will actually just bring that down. It looks a little bit strange. Try and have it the same sort of point as here. So we might need to bring that along, maybe around here. I think we'll add some of these to this one as well, just to keep it consistent. Maybe just there. And then we're done with that piece. Make that into a scenery group. Okay, then we can add some of these to our coaster over here. I think maybe let's put a couple up here. Somewhere around here. And I think we will rotate that. And we'll get another one just up here. Maybe bring that out like so. Or here too. Or maybe just the one actually. I think. Yeah, just there. As well, it might be worth filling out some of this area with the trees, because we haven't used those much yet apart from in the entrance. So let's grab one of our tree blueprints. It's actually quite large, I'm not sure. Oh, we can make it quite small actually. Perhaps we could have a tree maybe here. Let's rotate that around and just get that in a nice sort of position to keep it looking attached. And maybe another one to sort of fill in this small area here. Shrink that down a bit. Maybe just another one. Perhaps here. A little bit close to the coaster here. But we can just move these leaves in a bit. I think maybe a few more trees, maybe in this area. And just a bit of greenery, shrubbery. Have this area be kind of maybe a bit unkempt. And let's pop a couple in here. Just shrink that down. Maybe have it coming off the edge slightly there. Yeah, I think maybe just a little bit more of the purple along here. And we'll do another double here. Maybe leave that pink bit. Let's just attach that over. I did edit the mountain again, which I didn't record because it was, I think, maybe my 5th time doing it. I think that's a couple of times I've not recorded that. Should we have these visible? I think we'll have them visible because there will be multiple carts running at the same time. And let's just edit the terrain around here. I think maybe let's go with soil. Kind of a bit muddy in this area. Let's grab some of the roses. I think in the World of Warcraft version, it is a bunch of red roses with a quite dark red colouring. So we'll go with that around here. Just a whole lot of that. And then we'll use the empty rose bushes as well. And just fill out some of this area. And just, yeah, generally fill it up a little. Let's get some bigger rose bushes going. I think we'll pop another tree over this side as well. Let's get like a quite big one. And yeah, I think just there should be fine. Just remove some of these pieces. And I think maybe a few of the purple flowers here. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. just bring a second rock over there. Just for these roots. We could also go with a second one of these here, maybe. Let's just try somewhere like that. No, I think we'll leave that one as it is, and maybe instead we'll put some bunting or something along this piece of track. Search for bunting. We've got I think we'll go with the 4 here. So let's duplicate that out and grab our bunting. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that one. Bring that round and up. And I think we will also find our rope again. And I hope there's one that perfectly matches this kind of curve here. There is not, but I can be very tedious, and I think I might just concede on this one and let that be what it is. Grab the green, the purple, a yellow, and pink. No, I really want to do the rope. I'm gonna do the rope. So let's grab that and just slowly bring these around. I think as well we will bring these in at an angle, actually, just give it a bit more life. Just pull that over there, and that's all done. Make that scenery group and see what we can do with this. I do wonder if we could just pop it on the top here. Yeah, I think that would look quite good. Shrink it down a bit. Let's just watch as this coaster comes over. Got plenty of room there. Do we do just the one at the top here? Or do we a couple more? Let's bring that over. And then we'll just change the colours around on this. Just to keep it separate from the other. Let's swap those two around. And then we'll bring that over here for the last one. Just going to add some more greenery around here as well. Maybe a little bit here. And yeah, I think we'll grab something to pop here. Maybe another tree. Just grab this one, but make it a bit smaller. I'll just pop that in there. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with this section here. Might just add one more of these here. Just bring that around and then up. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. And then I think we should start on our entrance here. One thing actually I did want to add is some light bulbs down here, which I think are on the World of Warcraft version. So we'll just do a few on either side. I am still debating whether to bring this down slightly so that our station doesn't kind of interfere here, but I'm not sure how it would impact the ride. Let's see. We can take it down as low as we can. And then let's just smooth this out. I think maybe if we still do this same drop here, but just give it a little extra. Yeah, let's see. Let's test that. See if it's still going to make it over this hill. Not quite, and probably not as exciting as it should be. Yeah, I'll just adjust that slightly, but I think having this lower is going to be better in the long run. Just before we start on the entrance, actually, I think we'll add one of these into the center here. There is one in the game within the coaster section, so I've been thinking about what to add here, and it just makes sense. And I think we'll add maybe a couple of rocks down here. And perhaps have it sort of fallen over. Maybe just a rock or two keeping it up. Let's just turn that slightly. So the entrance is actually very similar to this. It's kind of 3 of these really. So I do wonder if we could get away with reusing this. We just get rid of maybe these pieces and keep the roof, and then I think we'll just have the entrance be just over the track, and then have the rest of it be just kind of a wooden sort of platform more than anything. And again, I would like to kind of keep this as small as possible, so I think we'll maybe just keep the entrance kind of roof section designated to here at the front with these 3 pieces. So we'll just shrink this down and have that just about around there. The 2 side ones are slightly tilted, so let's try and tilt that. And then we'll bring that in about there-ish. And we'll remove the flags on the top. Yeah, and then we'll grab this piece here and we'll just make our sides here. Just pop that down and make it a nice brown. And then we'll just add that along here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's just get these guys on. I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping that more insignificant compared to this. Let's just fill up all of this section. Maybe we'll add our flag over here. Let's grab that and see how that looks. And then we'll grab our wooden platforms. I do like that these edges can be changed to a different color. I think we can do some fun stuff with that. Now let's just fill this all in. I think it actually is a dark pinkish in the game, the platform here. That's almost perfect. There we go. And then we'll just shrink that down as far as we need to. There should be good. Bring that across. We'll just line those up against themselves there. And we've got this end problem here. I think I'm just going to ignore that by doing this. the bottom here is just a dark regular wood, so we'll just go for that. And yeah, I think we'll just use this one. Let's just increase that size a bit. Try and get that lined up nicely. And we'll bring that up. And I think we might just leave this green bit in. It kind of gives it a bit of extra appearance. Yeah, I think it just adds something to it. And then we can put something along the bottom here. Let's get our big old chunky bit of wood there. Bring that round out to the front. Let's enlarge that. Just cover up these concrete posts at the bottom here. And I think we'll make this green as well. Maybe a darker green. And then we can grab both of those pieces and just keep on moving those along. There we go. And then for the stairs, I think we'll do what we did here again. But we will use pink wood. Yeah, we'll pop that there. Get our pink. And just duplicate this down until we have a nice set of stairs. It could be cool to add a few of these along the queue as well, just to give something to look at. Let's bring that one out. And then we've got these here. And let's link that queue up as well. Oh, I got distracted from the stairs here. Let's finish those off. And then we can add some of these to the side. Let's drag over a few more of those. And then we'll use them to make a side here as well. And I think we'll use them on the door too. Something like this. And then we'll just get one of these and pop that in place. And let's grab that all and bring that over. Let's bring this one up slightly. I think we have to do the same here too. And then let's just duplicate all of this. We just pop that there. Then we can grab these pieces, pull those over. There we go. At the edge here and the back, I think I'll just do this plain brown wood. Let's just grab those and bring them down to the other end. And then we can get our platform piece again. I think green is a good colour for this side. We'll maybe make the outline for this one a little bit darker. And the more I'm looking at these, the more I'm thinking that I actually don't like the metal here, and I think this could be replaced with some wood or something else. I wonder if this cardboard from the toy pack might work. We'll just duplicate this and we'll grab our cardboard. It's actually quite good because there's lots of different cardboard pieces here. This one can't go quite small enough. I think we'll just use the the small wall there. Take that down as small as we can. I'll just finish this off. Now we just need to replace these. I think I might also cover up this section here with some of this barrier. Yeah, I think that could work quite well. We'll just move the ground up here a little bit. And then to cover up these, I suppose we could use just some more wood, really. Maybe the cardboard. I do like the cardboard. I think this is going to be quite a versatile piece. Let's try the pink with maybe green wooden beams. If we bring that in there and just change that colour over to our green. I think maybe a darker actually. Something like that. It's kind of hurting my eyes. But I want to stay true to the theme of the original. Let's just trust the process here and see how it goes. I'm going to change it to 4 cars rather than the 7 original ones that we had. And I'm going to perhaps make these a bit larger. And then we can pull those over and have the station be just a little bit shorter. And pop those around the side of our queue here. Just duplicate that over. And we'll just bring this one down slightly. Let's just get one more in here. And we'll remove our path. I'm quite happy with how that all looks though. And then we can bring this new version along here. Just pop that. We'll mute the colours a little bit to drag that along. We'll grab all of those and bring them up a bit and move them over. Let's start decorating this area out here. I do have some stalls to use. I think we could use some food and drink. We'll make those white or kind of whitish grey. Actually, a bit darker might look better. Then we'll just add some pathing here. And we'll go for loony balloons here, I think. They sell loony balloons. Oh, they sell balloons in the Darkmoon Faire, so it makes sense, I think. And we'll go for a Gelato Bros here, closest to a bakery. So. Just bring that over. Open these up. And I feel like a pip shop juice would suit this the most. I'm not sure why. And for the bakery, in WoW, there are gingerbread men on it, as well as a gingerbread heart, so these are perfect. And let's make a little shelf to go in the back here. Bring that up. And again. And then we'll look for some bits that we can put on here. Yeah, maybe this could be some kind of cake. Pop that down. And we'll change the colour of that. Put one more underneath as well. And let's change the colour of that one to a nice purple. And can pop this down and then change it to a brown. I think it would look like a loaf of bread, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. And if we do the same with the apples here, they could be some kind of pastry. And this can be a nice little cake. We'll just change the colour here, get a second cake. We'll just pop another loaf of bread up on the top here. Just change the colour to maybe something darker. And then let's just pop that in the back here. Just pull it over. And we'll get a duplicate here. Twist that round. Pull that over. And just flip that. And for this loony balloons, I think we'll just get some. We'll get the hot air balloon sign. Maybe pop that back here. And then we'll take those balloons we made earlier and just shrink those down and pop those in just here. And another one. And we'll add some rocks to the bottom of those. Let's find some rope. Pop that around. We'll just turn this into a sort of knick-knack store. There's a few of those in Darkmoon Faire. Sort of rare, random memorabilia and such. We'll use this to kind of represent that. As for what we will put in here, I'm not sure. I mean, these baubles could work quite well. Just make that red. That looks like some kind of vase. And this looks like some kind of potion. I'll just pop that down there. Just change the colours of that. Yeah, I think these work quite well. Kind of makes sense for a drink store as well to be having potions. So maybe this is a potion vendor. We'll do 2 of these as kind of mana potions. So we'll go for a blue here. Do they look a little bit too Christmassy? Potentially. I think if you didn't know what they were from a distance, they kind of work. And what could we have on the front here? I think there's a Viking banner that's got drinks on it, or yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look in the Viking theme. I'll just pop that right there. That's perfect. I think we'll just leave that as drink, and let's move that over. And we'll flip that around and just do a mirror there. Okay, these definitely need some lighting. Let's look into our lights here. I think we'll just grab our usual and try and think about what colours we want here. Maybe a purple. Let's change this to our 5 PM now. Okay, and let's just do some lighting. We'll pop down these pirate piece lightings here. And we'll just put a handheld light on the front of the loony balloons. And then get some more of our resort lights up along the side here. And we'll just do a seating area here. Pop down 2 benches. Start another seating area with some hay. And we'll just pop down a few hay bales here, make them into benches. I'm going to make a fence for these areas here. I think just some basic rope fence would look pretty good. There's quite a bit of it from the original, so I think that'll definitely work well. We just grab that out and I think just use the same pieces. Push that over. Have a little look here. Looks a little bit strange if you get too close to it, but I think we'll maybe make this one slightly smaller and just push that in there. And we'll get a duplicate. Pull that down. And maybe, I think we'll just get our rope circle there. Yeah. And then we'll just go 1, 2, 3. And then actually if we delete this one and those pieces, and then we get all of this together, create a scenery group and pull that across. Let's move that down to here and sort of close this area off. And then we'll just duplicate this around. And then up here, I think we'll do the wooden ground. So let's make that as large as we can. And we'll just push that down. It doesn't have to be perfectly all showing. I think it's best actually if some of it is buried under mud. And we'll just pull that down here. And then we'll have it going all the way over to this very long queue here. And then let's see how this looks with an invisible path. Not sure why this would be an issue considering there's already a path placed there. But let's just get a proof of concept first and put down some soil. I think we'll just have all of this be soil here. Maybe a bit of sand over here. Coming off of the sand pit. Can get a bit of grass on the outside here. Maybe in there as well. I think we'll take this down too. I actually think mud would look better in between some of these, then we can imagine why it's sort of sunk down a little bit. Let's just bring that down. I also think just with the lighting, it should just pop a little bit more, look a little bit better. We will try and figure this out quickly. I'm not going to lie. After that experience, I really reconsidered whether I should be doing relaxing long plays, or whether I should switch to, I don't know, some kind of rage long play where I just scream at the game. I did it. The pathing hopefully should work fine. Yeah, we'll just we'll paint the floor here, and we'll definitely cover up these little bits of terrain that are getting a bit funky. I'm not sure if we will do the floor here. We will definitely change these bits of path here. Yeah, I think let's fill some of these spaces here with a bit more of the wood and see how that looks. In fact, I think we might just custom do this rather than using the ones that I've made already. Just duplicate that and then we'll build it in more specifically. I think it will look a lot better. So just pop that down. And then we'll do some connecting pieces in a darker green here. And we'll just angle that so that it's under the purple there. And try and do the same for this side here. We can do something like this. And then just maybe duplicate that around. I think we will keep these purple. I think it might actually look better as well, especially after, you know, these are already purple and green, so it might be a little bit too much. I've already gone for a kind of muted purple here, just to give the eyes a little break. And then yeah, we can bring that up and round. Could also make that slightly raised. I think it adds kind of a nice little, I don't know, bit of difference there. Let's see how far up the exit goes. Okay, they are walking through it a little bit much, so let's grab a few of those. Take them down a little bit more, because I do quite like the idea of this being slightly higher up. So we might just lose their feet. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's okay. This also serves a nice purpose of covering up this little weird bit of terrain here. Do you know, I probably learnt the word terrain from playing Planet Coaster as a kid. Not Planet Coaster, sorry. Roller Coaster Tycoon. And here we will... I'm not sure how to end this. Maybe we'll start bringing it down into the mud here. You know, this is a popular area, so maybe it's gotten a bit worn. And we can show that by kind of taking this down a bit. Could we move it a bit more towards brown? Yeah, and then we'll change this one. I think somewhere like that. Just the slightest change there. And I think we'll drag these down slightly as well. Maybe rotate that so that it's just the one end that seems to be kind of getting lost in the mud. And the same for this one here. Let me just take that down. Yeah, I quite like that. Just gradual fade away. Although we've got this problem again. we can maybe pop some of this fence along here then. Just to create a barrier here too. And then we can pop a bit of greenery here. Don't think the paths connect here. Maybe some stones actually. And just grab a couple of the smaller ones. I'll pop those down in there. And just add a few over here as well so they don't look too out of place. I think it's tropical that we've been using. Yeah, that looks similar enough. Just pop a few down here as well. And some here too might work. We just need one more here. Maybe have a few coming through the path here as well. Let's pop one here. Let's get a bit of greenery down here. Kind of looking for some more darker leaf. Yeah, there we go. Pop another one this side. Make that slightly bigger. Yeah, I think just a couple there will be good. Let's grab that in red. That looks a bit too dark to show, to have that sort of growing around there. We'll get a few around here too. Yeah, and then just some brambles along the side here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm quite pleased with that. I think we will grab some more of these to pop along here. And then I'm going to add a couple of toilets here. Let's just see the size of them. In the game, the loos are sort of outhouses, like a Shrek outhouse type. So I think we'll pop them here. Let's grab our toilet facility and add the path here, please. God, let it connect. Okay, thank you. And we'll grab both of these and just move those along. And I think we'll still have them coming up along this side here. And I'm just gonna flip that and then delete those two bits. And then we will grab, I think, just this wood again, potentially. And we'll change this to a nice dark brown and just chuck those on the sides. We could flip this round so that we've got these bits showing. And then let's duplicate that over. I'm not sure if we can make a nice outhouse using this. It's quite a big loo, but we will try our best. I don't think we'll worry too much about the doors being open here. We'll just have the guests vanish into this, I think. Otherwise, it might be quite difficult to get to look correct. Let's get one more of those. Remove our angle snap. And we're actually going to want a pointed roof, I think. Let's have a little look. Maybe one of the new float pieces could work. I think that's in... there we go. Let's find the parade bases. Doesn't look like we've got any triangular ones, unfortunately. But I do think this might actually be the better wood to use here. We'll definitely pop that down there for the base. Maybe for a door as well. I think we'll just use one of these for the door. Let's just grab a guest statue here and make sure that's not too ridiculously large. Okay, it's a little bit large and a little bit high up. So maybe we will do 2 doors instead of 1. We'll shrink those down, move that over here, and then duplicate that over and pop that there. Use this as a handle. We just turn it off. Maybe a grey, and deactivate it. Pop that in here and duplicate another one over there. In World of Warcraft as well, there's also a moon on top of the toilets here. So we'll just pop that in there. And then try and make a roof here. Could definitely use this. I didn't realize this was here. This is from the sorcery theme. So that's perfect actually. Let's try and make a pyramid here. So I'm not sure how much we'd need to rotate this by, but we can duplicate, bring that out to this corner, and we'll do the same. This is definitely giving me some cool ideas for another build. We do 5 more in for each of those. Maybe 10 it seems. Oh, it looks terrible. I absolutely love it. I think this might be my favourite piece of the whole park. I'm sure we can make this look slightly better. Let's bring that up and we'll push that down. Push that down to about there. And I think we'll make this darker. There you go. And I think we'll definitely change the colour of this. Just have it pop slightly more. And then we can grab one of these leading up to it. And definitely sunken into the ground a bit more. There we go. Something like this. And then we'll just get our mud again. It'd be quite muddy around here. I think we'll grab a copy of that. And we'll pop another one. Maybe just somewhere around here. Not grabbed everything there. Let's just put that all together. We'll just tuck one over here. And then I think we will add our little animals here. Rather than making them as detailed as they are in World of Warcraft, I think I'm just going to try to very simply represent them. I think we'll use some of our toy box theme, and hopefully we can make something that looks decent enough. Let's get our child guest statue here and try and make something that works size-wise. We'll make this into the purple tiger mount. Do we have any springs? We do have the moving platform spring. I mean, I've not used this before. Let's try that, because this is kind of what they are. So let's go for that. And we'll attach the animal to this. Let's pop him up there. Oh, that's perfect actually. So let's delete this one. I actually think it's a white tiger mount with a purple saddle. Wonder if we could use something like this as the saddle. Let's just bring that around and have it go this way. Actually, I think that way works best for a saddle. Can we get it any smaller? No. And let's make that purple. And then we can add some eyes. I'm just going to add some greenery along the edge here as well, I think. I think we'll just use the rose bushes again. I do wish there was something a bit kind of darker and deader. Speaking of, the very piece I use for the trees, that might be good to use. Just pop that in there. I think those pieces work kind of well together. And we'll bring that up to this little area here. And maybe have it go around the side here. And just do little bits here and there. Something like that. Then I might add another tree here. Just a small individual one. Definitely want it smaller here so that we're not blocking the view of the coaster too much. Let's go for 2 here will be fine. And then we'll just pull the ground up here a bit and get a bit more of this going. Just have this whole area be like that. Okay, I'm pretty pleased so far. I think we might just have this area be muddy rather than what I thought about doing before, which was filling out with flowers and greenery. Yeah, we'll just go for some mud here. I think it's coming together quite nicely. I would also, I think I'm going to make 2 more blueprints quickly using this again. And we'll just grab our new bunting from the parades pack. Let's see if we can find that quickly. And I just remembered we've actually made some already. So I'll get rid of that and we'll just alter this to how we like it. Just pop that there. And then we'll duplicate this over to here. And we'll change the colours of this to kind of a dark green and purple. There we go. And pop some of these around. Let's get a couple over here. Just hide that in there. Oh, maybe not. It's always difficult to do from one angle. And then we'll do the same over here. And they're all floating. So we'll grab all of those and we'll just bring them down. Just enough to not be floating. And these ones aren't floating, so that's fine. One other blueprint I think we'll make quickly is there's a lot of boxes around. So we'll just get a couple of blueprints with just crates and boxes really to be used around. And then we'll just get these crates here. Just flip that around and pull that up. And then if we use these upside down, let's get rid of the angle snap. Just bring this around, pop some on top of each other. Let's get a couple of these too. We can have this here with something or other in it. Might be worth getting a few of these around as well. They kind of fit in with the fair theme, so we'll just get those out for the moment. Now we do have this crate here from the Pirates pack. Can just pop a couple of these together. Let's make a scenery group out of that. And we can also have one of these full of crates. Let's make that all into one group. Duplicate that up. And then we've got that. And we'll have one with dynamite on it as well. But we will delete that one and move this one down and round. There we go. We want some hay as well. I think we could use some of this for flooring. I'm not sure why it does this shadowy effect when I increase the size here, but something I've noticed in the Darkmoon Faire is that they do use hay for flooring. So if we can do a similar thing with this that we've used the wood for, I'm not sure if it's going to work as well as I hope it will, but let's try it up here. Pop it here actually. If we shrink that right down. Oh yeah, actually works fairly well. I think if we just twist this one slightly, and then I think all together just shrink that down because it's a bit large for hay. Pop it around there. I'm not sure what graphic setting I'm using here that's making this go wrong, but I'll leave that for now. And let's get this into our Darkmoon colours. A green roof there. And I think we'll pop one of these just up next to the drinks area here. Let's just pop some of these guys around, because they are kind of littered everywhere in Darkmoon Faire, so I think it only makes sense to pop some of them around up here too, and maybe just have some of these up along the side here too. But I will also bring this fence all along here as well. I think I intended to do that, but got a bit waylaid. And then we'll bring that over to this one here. I'm just going to keep on using some of these bits to decorate around this area here. And then we'll do a little link up here. I think we'll grab one of these and have one at the entrance here. I'm not sure what it will sell, but we can definitely make it our information store. In WoW as well, there are these pointed tents. I'm not sure whether we'll make them or whether we'll use the ones from the fairy tale theme. So let's have a look. Yeah, so we do have tents. I just don't think they look quite like this in WoW. Let's just use this for now anyway. I'm sure we can decorate it up to work a bit better. Okay, so they are green and white. Like so. Green and purple. But they have green and white on the roof. I'm not sure if we would be able to do that. See if we can manage it with a little bit of trickery. Yeah, I think we can work with this. Let's make that into a group. And there's one of these at the entrance. It's on this side actually. So we'll pop that just here. And this is where you kind of come to get tickets. So let's tuck that into the ground. Just about there. We'll attach that to some kind of wood pole here as well. Let's grab that out. And then we'll duplicate another one of these across. And then grab one of these poles. Let's get rid of our angle snap there. Bring that round. And then I think we'll make it a little bit larger. Just to cover up those metal pieces there. Or maybe we can stick something else on the top there. Maybe a sign for our tickets. And then we'll just add some of the roses around here. Actually, let's put some of our boxes there. Let's just grab this bunch of boxes. Pop them in the front here. And we'll just get one more here. Duplicate that down. And then we'll just cover this area. Okay, that works for that. And we can just get one more here. Genuinely just covering this whole section with boxes. And then maybe some hay as well. We just delete this, I think. Just shrink that down to a bit more of a normal size. If it works. And then we'll just get some of these darker roses in the background here. Let's just add a bit of path here too. And we will pop our info desk here. We might have people walking through, but I think that's worth it for having a somebody stand in here and have guests approach it. Then we'll just add one of these in here. Bring that round. Tuck that back. And I think we'll just do slightly larger. And then we'll double duplicate that down. And just gonna pop some hay down here for no reason other than covering up the bottom of that box. We've also got to bring these down. They are floating, which seems to be a common problem. And as we have been, we will add some soil here. Or what have we got here? Is it compact? Yeah. We'll use that. So we've got our ticket booth. Okay, we'll get the green one down here. Just pop that here. I'm not sure what we'll sell in here. But then we can have our carousel entrance just here to kind of fill this space out. And we will also make our yellow version of this, which is sort of attached to another wooden pole. Bring that down. And let's just grab all of those, make those yellow. And we'll use our new bulbs. I think they're just white. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Link that all together. Get one of our wooden poles. Get rid of that. Increase the size of that. And I'm not quite sure how they're attached. I've actually just checked and it's a bit more flat actually, a bit more like this. So we'll use this and change that to the yellow. And it is more like an arrow. So if we bring this down, just do something like this. And then they've actually got something a bit more like this going on with smaller bulbs all along. Or actually check the braid pack or piece of metal that we can link these together with. That could work. We just hide this section, duplicate that, and grab this, pop our snapping on, twist that round, and then hide that in here. Hopefully it's not showing through the other side. Let's see if we add that all together. Let's check the back there. That's all good. And then we can have these just pointing the way. And we'll have another one pointing to the coaster entrance here. I think we'll pop a couple of the flags up along this side as well. And maybe some here. And then we'll get some of the lights around here as well. And just pop some of these around here. And we'll just finish that off with a pole there. And let's change the color of this one to a nice green. And we'll we'll grab all of these and just duplicate that over to here. And we'll just remove these two here. I'm just going to fill up some of these back spaces with more greenery, some rocks, trees. I'm not a fan of just leaving it blank, even if sometimes that does look better. Just fill out some of the ground. And we'll finish this path off here with some of our pre-made ones. Let's just bring that around slightly. Get rid of the purple there. And let's get our invisible path here and make that with some sand there. Yeah, we'll get our compact dirt. Get a bit of mud going in some of these areas again. Especially considering it's near water. And a little bit either side here. Leading to these. And I think we'll do the firework one. We'll have this store sell fireworks, but it'll actually be maybe, do we have anything spicy? Spicy pizza. And for just a memento, I accidentally didn't record, but we're gonna go for kind of just a general knickknacks and trinkets kind of store here. I forgot we had actual potion bottles when I was doing this area, so let's pop some of these in here. That works a bit better. Just all together, and we'll do some mana potions along here. Adds a bit more lighting as well. And in here, we'll just chuck whatever we can find, really. Anything that's sort of come from a dungeon kind of vibe, really. Chuck that in there. That works well for a weird thing. It just doesn't quite go small enough. You could put it in a barrel. So let's duplicate that down and look for a barrel. Grab that. Oh, it's a barrel bin. I'll just pop that barrel there. What weird kind of funky colours could we do with this? Yeah, I think that looks weird enough. Let's pop a shield at the back here. Maybe we could have some weapons as well. Yeah, let's pop a couple of weapons in here. Bring that round. Have it sort of lent against this. Pop this weird thing down here. And nope. Chest will do. Golden chest works well. Just pop that there. Literally anything we can find. Little helmet. Another helmet. Let's pop 2 of those up there. Just a couple of bags. weird lantern. Who knows, maybe it's magical. Serves the double purpose of lighting up the place. Put another one up here. I think maybe that's enough stuff in here. That could work on the coaster actually. We'll pop that over there for now. Couple of shields here. Oh, I forgot about these gift shop items. These are actually perfect. I'll pop this hammer. Maybe on here actually. Let's pop a few things here. And I think we'll get another one of these over here as well. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So, just put a bit more greenery around everywhere. I think I'm going to add some hay to the ground around here as well. Just a little bit here and there. Just pop some down here. And maybe for the whole ground in here. I think we'll add a couple of fences here. Just to kind of lead the eye here. And then let's bring that over here. And I'm just going to add the fish to the coaster somewhere. They are all pink and purple on the Darkmoon Faire ride. And we'll just pop this down here. Maybe just turn it around so it's facing our guys. And I think we'll get a few more balloons over here while we're here actually. Kind of feels a little bit empty. Do another one up here. I had really hoped to have this be one single video for one park. The idea was that it would give me a bit of a creative break from the mega park to just play around with something different. But I think this might be a 2-video thing. We still have at least this much park to fill. Could always shrink the island even more, but yeah, I'll finish the video here, unfortunately, and there will be a part 2. So yeah, we'll do our park tour here. I have added some lighting and mist effects, but yeah, we'll just go through. I've also moved a few things around just to kind of make this a bit more of a nicer cinematic experience. But yeah, thank you guys for watching if you've made it this far. Especially a massive thank you to returning viewers who have been incredibly patient with me. I really appreciate it. Obviously life has gotten a little bit more complicated for me, but I've really been trying my best to get this out to you guys as quick as I can. And I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, let me know. If you don't, maybe don't let me know because I'll cry. Or if you have, you know, comments or suggestions for improvement, I'm definitely open to that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye. Oh my god, I finally made the video.